FPL GW38 Team Selection. What is up, everyone? How's it going? Hope you're keeping well, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. Double Game Week 37 was a great game week for my own team. The bench boost paid off massively, and I'm now inside the top 50k, and fingers crossed we can stay inside there once the games are over on Sunday for a decent end to a long season. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I fared out in Double Game Week 37, and we'll also be looking at my transfer plans and team selection ahead of the last game week of the season. I'll also be discussing the top differentials you should be considering for a Game Week 38, and if you choose the right one, these players should bring you up the ranks and hopefully get you across the line in your mini leagues also. For the last time this season, let's get into the video. So before we get into today's video, quick reminder to give the video a like, and let's hit the like goal of 100 likes on this video. So head on down there, drop the video a like, and if you are watching and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. We're currently on the road to 6k subs, trying to get there before the deadline on Sunday afternoon. So if you haven't done so already, head on down there, click subscribe, and hopefully with your help I can get across the line. It's been a long season on the content front. It's a lot of late nights. I'm not going to get into a sob story, but it would absolutely mean the world to me to pass this 6k milestone. So I really would appreciate your support, and hopefully we can get across the line before the deadline on Sunday. With that out of the way, let's have a quick look back at the Double Game Week 37 review. I managed to score 145 points for the week, which is a great score for the team. I did take a -8, one of the biggest hits of the season. I brought in Pedro Porro, Vicario and Callum Wilson. Fair enough, bringing in Pedro Porro was the correct decision. He came away with a goal against Burnley. 10 points over that 2 games, but unfortunately Vicario and Wilson didn't have some great returns. I brought in Wilson when I saw him training on Friday. João Pedro looked like he was going to miss out in the double game week, with De Zerbi saying he was pretty sad with the João Pedro injury. Wilson wasn't able to play any of the double game week with an illness, and then João Pedro picked up an assist against Chelsea, so that was a 9-point swing, rather unfortunate 9-point swing. And then looking at Vicario, I took a hit to take him out for Kelleher. Vicario only scored 4 points over the double game week, so that pretty much broke even there. So one good transfer bringing in Porro, but then 2 poor transfers bringing in Wilson and Vicario. At least Vicario does have a nice fixture against Sheffield United in Game Week 38. Whether or not I'm going to play him, but we'll chat about that later on in the video. Looking at the positives from the double game week, my doppelganger Verdial came away with 2 goals away to Fulham and picked up a clean sheet away to Spurs for a massive 27 points over the double game week. I also kept faith in Gusto. It was pretty annoying seeing him on the bench against Nottingham Forest, but then against Brighton he picked up an assist and then was subbed off early, so he kept his clean sheet and came away with a massive 13-point haul over his 2 games. Across then the rest of the team, Gordon picked up a goal away to Man United, Palmer picked up a goal and an assist over the double game week, Foden scored against Fulham, and then Isak unfortunately drew a blank over the 2 games. My captain Erling Haaland, he did draw a blank against Fulham in the first game, but managed to pick up 2 goals away to Spurs and all 3 bonus points for a monster 30 points from the Ironman. I got a lot of comments on my Instagram post calling me born for a captain in Haaland, but those 30 points was the reason why I did captain the big Norwegian. Looking at my bench boost then, I scored 21 points on my bench boost, so that was a great return. I was expecting 10 to 20 points, anything over 21 points I was delighted with, and thankfully we did get 21 points. We're now sitting inside the top 50k, 46k overall, so hopefully we can stay inside this after the games on Sunday for a lovely finish to the end of the season. Let's move on now and start planning ahead for the last game week of the season and have a look at some differentials. So looking at some differentials for the last game week of the season, I've outlined 7 players on screen here that you should be considering bringing into your team, and hopefully they can perform well and get you up the ranks on the last day. We'll start off with Kai Havertz of Arsenal. Arsenal face Everton at home on Sunday. I'll be expecting Arsenal to be coming out all out attack, and with Kai Havertz leading the line, I'm expecting some big returns from the German. He's got a 7.2 predicted points, 43% chance of scoring, an expected goal involvement of 0.53 per 90 this season, and with an ownership of less than 10%, if he does well, you can see yourself flying up the ranks. Trossard could also be a decent shout here. He's been doing well over the last couple of weeks, but with the fact he's getting subbed off early with Martinelli coming on from him, I'm not too keen on going for Trossard, and Havertz is definitely the safer pick. He's played 90 minutes in 5 of the last 6 games. He's got 4 returns in his last 5 and 2 double-digit hauls over these 5 games. And with him leading the line, an out-of-position midfielder playing up front, he's definitely the safer pick, and I'm more than likely to be going for him this weekend. Moving on to Mo Salah, he's technically not a differential as he is owned by over 10% of managers in the game that we normally have the benchmark to be a differential, but that's because a lot of dead teams will own Salah, and definitely a lot of active managers who still play the game won't own Salah, so I do think he is a big differential for that Wolves game on Sunday. Klopp's last fixture at Anfield could be potentially Mo Salah's last game at Anfield if he does move on in the summer. Looking at his stats ahead of the weekend, he's got a predicted point score of 8.2 points, 54% chance of scoring, and he is on penalties, and he's got a 0.99 expected goal involvement per 90 this season, so I do think he will return well against Wolves. If you're looking for a differential captain pick, Mo Salah could be your man. He'll be looking to finish the season off on a high at home to Anfield for Klopp's last game too. We then move on to the Crystal Palace boys. Eze and Elise, they're up against Aston Villa at home this weekend. Aston Villa could well still be in party mode after they did qualify for the Champions League during the week when Spurs failed to beat Man City. It's very close between Eze and Elise ahead of the weekend's games. Looking at the predicted point score, Eze is on 5.8 compared to Elise's 6.4. Looking at their chance of scoring, Eze just outnumbers Elise because Eze is on penalty, so 38% compared to 29%. And then their expected goal involvement per 90, Elise outnumbers Eze 0.71 compared to 0.65, so there's not much really in between. And then they're both mega differentials. Eze owned by 5% of managers in the game, and then Elise owned by 2.6% of managers in the game. If I had to pick one out of the two Crystal Palace lads, I'd probably lean towards Eze because he is on penalty duties, but I still wouldn't be surprised to see both of them return well, and it definitely is a very close call. We then move on to Brennan Johnson, and he's away to Sheffield United this weekend. Johnson is in decent form, having returned twice in his last 3 games. Probably should have been 3 returns from 3 when he played through Youngmin's son against Man City. Ortega denied son, so if you were a Johnson owner, you're probably unlucky that you didn't get that return. He's a massive differential ahead of the weekend's games, only owned by less than 2% of managers in the game. He's got a predicted point score of 6 points in that Sheffield United fixture and 43% chance of scoring. If you do have that third Spurs slot available, he's a lovely pick, only priced at 5.8 million also. If you do have Youngmin's son in your team, I definitely wouldn't be getting rid of him ahead of that Sheffield United fixture. I myself can't get towards Johnson as I already have Pedro Porro, Vicario and Son in my team, but I'm happy enough with Son. It's only if you have that third slot available, I'd be looking towards Johnson for a cheeky punt. If you're in the market for a defender, Trent Alexander-Arnold could be the perfect differential to bring into your team with a lovely fixture at home against Wolves on the last day of the season. He's got a predicted point score of 5.8 points, and Liverpool have a 45% chance of keeping a clean sheet, which is the third highest out of all the fixtures. However, if you only have one Arsenal defender, I'd look towards getting 2 over Trent, but if you have 2 Arsenal defenders already and you do need one more defender, I'd look towards Trent as he is the perfect differential in defence. We then finish off our differential picks with the massive differential of them all in Callum Hudson-Odoi, 0.5% owned in the game, and he's up against Burnley away from home, and Burnley and Nottingham Forest seem to have nothing to play for, so I wouldn't be surprised if there are some goals in that game. He's got a predicted point score of 4.9 points, 24% chance of scoring, and expected goal involvement of 0.23 per 90. He is a massive differential. He is probably worth a punt if you're looking for a massive differential, but I'd probably lean towards Eze, Elise or Johnson in that kind of budget area out of all those players. Ranking these differentials then, if you have the money, obviously I'd be looking towards Mo Salah. Kai Havertz is probably my second favourite differential then, and then it's a close call between Eze and Elise. Let's move on now and see how I'm planning ahead of the GW38 deadline and see how I'm lining out. So here's how my current lineup is looking ahead of the GW38 deadline. I do have a few benching headaches just coming off the back of that bench boost in double GW37. It means I have a strong 15-man squad, and starting off in goals, I'm still not sure who I'm going to start out of Petrovic and Vicario. Petrovic is in the starting 11 as of now, just because Chelsea have a slightly better chance of keeping a clean sheet compared to Spurs. Chelsea at home to Bournemouth and Spurs away to Sheffield United, but to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if both keepers concede with how poor both defences have been lately over the last few weeks. Moving on to the back three then, I'm very happy with Ben White, Gabriel and Vardiol. Arsenal and City ranking first and second for the chance of a clean sheet this weekend, so hopefully we can see some clean sheet points and potentially some attacking returns. Moving on to my 5-man midfield, Anthony Gordon is yellow flagged after he picked up a knock away to Man United during the week, so that's something I'll need to keep an eye on. And then Garnacho, he's got 4 blanks in his last 4 games, so that's not what I want to see ahead of the last game week of the season. If I am to keep Garnacho, I could probably sub in Porro or Augusto with 2 nice fixtures for those defenders, but it is the last game week of the season and I am expecting a lot of goals throughout the game then also. Isak and Haaland complete my starting 11, 2 good strikers, and I'm expecting some good returns. Isak away to Brentford and Haaland at home to West Ham, so he gets the captaincy. As of now, I am 46k overall, so I probably have to play it safe on the captaincy for the hopes of staying in that top 50k, but it's not locked in. I might look towards Palmer, might look towards Son, but for now the armband is on Haaland. Let's move on now and take a look at my transfer plans ahead of the GW38 deadline. So look at my transfer plans ahead of Sunday's deadline. I'm currently looking at taking out Garnacho with 4 blanks in his last 4 games, and then I'll be looking towards Kai Havertz with Arsenal playing at home to Everton on Sunday. Kai Havertz has got 3 goals and 3 assists in his last 4 games, so he's in great form, and he's also an out-of-position midfielder playing up front for Arsenal, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Havertz get a few returns on Sunday. I was looking towards Trossard as a differential punt also, but with Havertz playing 90 minutes in 5 of his last 6 games, he's a safer pick for minutes, and that's why I'm looking towards Havertz, just on the security of playing minutes. Looking then at my second potential move, it all depends on the fitness of Anthony Gordon after he picked up that knock away to Man United during the midweek games. If it sounds like Anthony Gordon is going to miss out on that Brentford game, I'll be looking towards Eze. Bring in Eze with that home fixture against Aston Villa. It is a close call between Eze and Elise, but just because Eze is on penalties, I'll be looking towards him if Gordon is out. So that's my transfer plans ahead of the games on Sunday, but just be warned, I won't be making any of my moves until just before the deadline. We all know what happens with Gaming38, there's so many league team news before the deadline, so I'm going to wait for the news and then use my transfers accordingly around the news that is leaked, and advise you to do the same. If you've made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For the last time this season, let's hit a like goal of 100 likes on this video, so head on down there, drop the video a like, and if you are watching and you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button below. I'm currently on the road to 6k subs, trying to get there before the end of the season. I have a bit of work to do, just 75 subs away from hitting that 6k milestone. So if you haven't done so already, I really would appreciate it if you could head on down there, click subscribe and support the channel, and fingers crossed we can get over the line, and that would be a lovely end to the season. 46k overall now, hopefully we can stay inside the top 50k, and that would be a lovely end to the season also in FPL terms too. Before I finish up, I just want to take a moment to thank you, the viewer, for the support I've received on the channel throughout the season. There's an awful lot of work that goes on behind the scenes to get the channel where it is today, but none of this would be possible without you, the viewer. So anyone who's liked, shared, commented on my videos, if you watch every single one of my deadline streams, every single one of my videos, or if this is the first video you've ever watched of mine, I honestly appreciate you all. I'll see you all now on Sunday afternoon for the last deadline stream of the season, and hopefully we'll all be looking at some green arrows come 6:30 on Sunday evening. For one last time, thanks for watching, best of luck for the week, I'll see you in the next video.